So we've got another update. So what happened this week in the world of AI? Google's latest innovation. So there was a big announcement from Google about the latest round of updates that have come through from Gemini 3, which was the long-awaited model from them. Apparently there was some emergency episodes discussing Demis Hassabis and Josh Woodward from Google's DeepMind, discussing what the enhanced coding performance look like, what an interactive UI generation about the new products, the anti-gravity coding plugin, which is another VS Code fork, and then how Gemini 3's integration into real-world applications, which is being able to deliver excellent coding responses, great ability on all the benchmarks and the tests, and having it in real world. So a lot of videos covering deep dives into output, comparing it to other models, benchmarks and things like that. And then they also had their SEMA 2 gaming engine, which had the ability to learn rules in one game, not be trained on that game, and then take that to another game and apply the same rules to learn how to make that result better in that game. So a lot of improvements there. Other AI developments outside of Google's world this week, updates on language models have all been about pushing the envelope. On the OpenAI front, GPT-5.1 release, that got put through to the ChatGPT UI. Apparently it's one of the better coding models again. I don't know how many times you've heard me say that over the course of this year. I've been using it. It's quite good. I can't see the day-to-day difference between Claude 4.5, 4.1, ChatGPT 5 and 5.1. They just do a good job. Also, apparently there was a sneak peek into GPT-6, which apparently uses something called latent space thinking, which I have absolutely no idea about. And then Grok 5 is moving to a release shortly, should be out in the next few weeks, I think. Elon Musk's big catchphrase that people have been taking from this week is it has a non-zero chance at being AGI. So it's not zero, it's not going to be great, but there's a non-zero chance. They've got some secret sauce in the way they've been approaching the model of that one, which is interesting, but they won't tell you anything about it. On the security front, there's clear signals that AI is stepping into new, not always welcome territories. One video discussed the first recorded case of an AI fully autonomous cyber-espionage campaign. Apparently it was state-sponsored by China. They used Claude Code through prompt engineering techniques to make it think it's doing something, have each piece isolated to allow it to execute code and hack things when it's not supposed to, because it was probably telling it that it was being like writing a book or it's a cybersecurity expert and we need to test these things or certain things, and they did it. It did get identified because it was doing things so fast that no human could do it. So that's the AI agent hacker era. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, considering all the new AI factories, data centers that have been building up and what people are doing with that and where it's going to go, because then you just have more capacity. So as Elon likes to say, the only way to stop bad AI is with better good AI. Apparently there was a giant leap in a chip that I saw called Anthropic, which is introducing thermodynamic computing with probabilistic bits. So this is really a real world test case that was actually working for, was it quantum computing? I think it was quantum. Or is it just normal processor, just in a different architecture? They've got an emulator up that you can then write your code for and get it emulated to see how fast it will do it. Apparently it's 10,000 times more energy efficient than a standard processor, a GPU. That's something to keep an eye on moving forward, but that's going to be a long time before anyone sees anything about it. Again, these things take time. Innovations in AI-driven market research trends. There's also a couple of standout narratives from the intersection of AI with business and research. Edison's scientific cosmos is a breakthrough. AI scientists promising to compress 6 months of PhD research into 12 hours. I was listening to this, I sort of zoned out and listening to this one. Uses parallel agents, does 40,000 lines of code or reading or writing of documents in a very short amount of time. It can go sidetracked and do things wrong for the entire time. So just because it can do that research doesn't mean it's going to be doing the research well and having a great result out of it. But it's definitely a space that will be improved upon. It will deliver great value in time, but we have to get there. And this is what everyone thinks about when they think about AI, is these giant long-running tasks, especially in science and chemistry and all these sort of spaces where people will get a benefit from them. They'll have a benefit to the greater good of the community and human civilization as well, not just saving people from work or helping someone make more money in their business. How can you apply something like that in your business? Well, you start bringing in agents, start bringing in AI augmented workflows to start saving people from that sort of like dumb work, and then eventually build up into more complicated work as time goes on and these capabilities and agents and processes improve, so you can get to that level. A bit more here in this script or this notes that I'm reading about who's going to win, which is whether it's like the AI models or the apps or the models company. It's always going to be the models. They're the ones that are building the foundation for everything. At the moment, the apps would still benefit even if the models stop today, because models are in the market. They're out there. You can't not have them and you can't get rid of them. But always the models are going to be bigger, Cursor, giant revenues, $2.3 billion raise. Anthropic's apparently targeting a $70 billion revenue target in 2 years' time. So we're making these giant leaps towards these huge numbers, which are going to get towards that $1 trillion spending that OpenAI is committing to. But it's all going to take time. It's a lot of use. It just keeps building. But not much news outside of the GPT-5.1 and the Gemini 3 launch. Grok 5 will be interesting when it comes out because that should be top of the charts and the most truthful AI. So we'll see what happens when that gets out there. But again, just a lot of news, a lot of stuff to take in this week. If you got any ideas on how I can improve this or something else I can do, please let me know. I'd love to hear any ideas to improve it. Otherwise, good luck keeping up with the news.